Hi guys, Jordan from PMP Campers. Just going to do your handover video on your Knaus Y-Reg registration down there. Engine battery sits over on the left hand side of the bonnet over here, and you can see there's a nice good sized battery. Looks reasonably new as well, so you shouldn't have any issues with that. Your coolant, engine coolant, sits up here at the top of the engine just there, so obviously don't open that when it's hot. Got your power steering fluid just here at the front in this reservoir down here. Sometimes they're a bit awkward to see where the actual level is, but it has had its service, so it has, will be at the right place. Engine oil gets topped up through this top cap just here at the top of the engine, and you've got this little orange tab at the bottom, your engine oil dipstick. Your air filter sits inside this box just over here. Fuel filter, this one over at the back. Your brake fluid is this one just here. Obviously, being left-hand drive, the servo is on the right-hand side of the bonnet rather than the left. And you've got your washer fluid reservoir down here on the right. You will have various kind of fuses and relays and bits and pieces dotted around the vehicle. Being the slightly older version of the cab, you've got most of it is down here by the actual engine battery itself. So you shouldn't have to worry too much about that at all, really. Diesel filling point is this one over here on the near side of the vehicle, coincidentally being the driver's side. Obviously, like I said, because it's left-hand drive. Open that up by literally pressing on this side, and then you see it opens up like that. In the cab, not a huge amount to show you, apart from the fact that you've got your lights on and off switch just here. You have got electric adjusting mirrors, which work off this dial just here. 5-speed manual gearbox, nice and straightforward. Hazard lights just there in the middle, the red button just there. Your indicators on these cabs are this little lever just in front of the back one, so don't use the back one as your indicators. This is basically, if you have your lights on, it'll be full beam now, and that's a normal, so you can go leave it on full beam or use this to flash as well. Heated rear windscreen switch obviously won't do anything anymore because you haven't got the original heated rear window. This is a fog light switch. Bonnet release lever is this one just here, and that's about that for the cab. So we got a little plate back there, nothing written on it. So this locker down here, obviously a gas locker. You've got the gas bottle in here. You've got space for two of the bigger 13 kilo propane bottles if you did want them in there, but you've got this 6 kilo propane at the moment. And your freshwater inlet is this green twist off bit just up here, so if you want to fill up your freshwater tank, you go for it there. You've got a new looking regulator on there, so I believe that to be a new one, and a 2021 dated flexible hose. So that's all new in there. So you've got till 26 to replace the hose. Next one is your freshwater tank. Not freshwater tank, sorry. Your toilet cassette. So if you want to take the toilet cassette out, you literally just pull up on this little yellow lever at the bottom and then pull it out towards you. Once you've got it out, all you really need to know is that you empty it out from here and you hold down the little yellow button at the back when you're emptying it out. I've lubricated this as part of the habitation check. So yeah, I mean, it has got this diagram here showing you exactly how to use it, and that you don't need to worry about this part here because you haven't got a separate flush tank above. Your flush fluid on this particular one comes directly from your freshwater tank, so you don't need to worry about any of that. The garage at the back, obviously, as you've seen, is absolutely massive. Leisure battery sits just down here, so again, nice and easy to get to, and in fact it looks like it probably comes out, you can probably pull the whole thing out towards you. So that's that there. You have got sort of various bits and pieces. If you did want to store things in here, there's loads and loads of space, but again, I know you've seen that already, so won't go into too much detail on that. Other side of the garage, again, not really a huge amount to show you. but you have got sort of the clamps down here in the corner so that you could you know, clamp things down in here, like motorbikes and things like that, if you needed to, bicycles, etc. Your boiler vent is this one just here. So you've got a new style boiler inside the vehicles, which I'll show you how to work it in a minute, but that's where you sort of get the hot air coming out if you did have the boiler on. Hookup point just next door to that. 2 fridge vents just here to the left of the door. I've got the fridge lit up on gas at the moment, and this is where you feel warm air coming out from if you wanted to double check that it was definitely lit up. And that's about it for the outside, so I'll just go inside now, show you a few bits and pieces in here. So you've got your main control panel above the door here. It's all nice and simply laid out. So you've got a main on and off switch just here on the right. 12 volt check, it says there. So if you check battery 1, have a look at this scale here. It tells you that your engine battery is completely full. So you've got loads and loads of power in the engine battery. Press battery 2, shows you your power in your leisure battery. And obviously being full as well is because I've got the hookup cable plugged into the vehicle. So if you checked that without a hookup plugged into the van, you might be sort of around here. You know, it's not always going to be at the very, very top. So both batteries, really, really good battery level, hookups plugged in at the moment. You've then got water check on this side. So if I press this button here on the left, you check this left hand scale, press and hold, and it shows you've got half a tank of fresh water in the tank and nothing in your waste. So that's that. If your wastewater tank was full, I think this little button here will come on. It will light up red. If you want to put your pump on, this button just here gives the power to your water pump. Well, I'll just carry on through the control panel first before I go on to that. So water pump switch is this one. Make sure that you turn that off when you're not using it. All 3 of these lights buttons just here are all just for your lights. So basically, if you want to come in here and turn your lights on, just turn all 3 of those on, and then you can go around the vehicle and decide which ones you do and you don't want on, basically, because they've all got their own switches here, there, and everywhere. Right, so that's your control panel, nice and simple. What I was going to say when I was saying about the water pump is the first thing you want to do when you come into the van, if you want hot water and you want the heating on and things like that, pump switch goes on, and then basically just come to your sink, pull your cold water through, and then just go around to your hot. If the hot water is coming through like this is now, nice and sort of smooth and no sort of like big pockets of air or anything like that, you can turn that off. Make sure your pump turns itself off. Which it has done just there. And there you go. So that's proving to you that your boiler is full of water because the water's coming through the hot side nice and easily, and that your water tank, your water system is up to pressure because the water pump turned off. Once you've done that, you can then come over to your boiler settings here, and you can go through and you can use your boiler exactly how you want to. So I'll just quickly run you through it. So it's a digital screen, and whatever one is flashing is the one that you're going to be clicking on, basically. So if I press the on button, it's currently flashing over the van with a little thermostat inside it. So that's the heating. If I click on that, it comes up straight away saying off because, you know, nothing's going to work at the moment because I haven't turned it on yet. Scroll around on here and choose the temperature that you want the inside of this van to be. So if I just chose 26, press the button again. It's still flashing, but all you need to know is this little button, this little light up here, the little gas flame. That means that your heating is on. So the heating will start working any minute now. All right. If this little light, if that little symbol there is on there, your heating is on. The other things you need to know is if you've got this little symbol over here on, that means that it's on, but it's working via your gas system. All right. So that there's a gas bottle, and that shows you that the boiler is working and it's working via the gas. And the other one there, you've got a little fan symbol, and that's telling me at the moment that your fan is on a low setting. All right, so if I click the button again, if I want to then put the hot water on, flashing over the hot water symbol, click the button again, and then go through. You can either choose eco, hot, or boost. So I'll put it on boost for a minute. And then if I just let this screen go off again, it'll just initiate that. The screen will go off, and there you go. That's coming on there, showing you that your hot water is on as well as heating. All right, all still being worked through just by the gas. So that's how you use your heating and your hot water. That's just scrolling over either of those two. I can turn the hot water off if I want to, just go back to off, and I can turn the heating off as well by scrolling all the way back to 0 till it says off. All right, so now you can see there's no lights up here because nothing is working via the boiler. If you wanted to use the boiler, you now know how to use the hot water or the heating. That's nice and simple. But if you wanted to change it so that the boiler was going to work via the electric element, not gas, you can, if I just show you again, hover over this one here and click on it. At the moment it says gas. If I turn this, it says mix 1 or mix 2. All right, you can then carry on going and it will say electric 1 or electric 2. Okay, so if I quickly explain this, I'm going to leave it on, well, there you go. So if I leave it on gas, then the boiler is going to work, do whatever you tell it to do, but it'll do it via the gas only. If I flick one more over, mix 1, basically that means that you're using gas and electric at the same time. Now this one's about 4 amps of electric. Mix 2 is gas and about 8 amps of electric. If I go through again one more to electric only, electric 1, that's still 4 amps of electric, but no gas. And electric 2 is about 8 amps of electric and no gas. So if I click electric 2, it'll come up the top there. When I choose one of these, if I choose hot water on boost, it comes up there, hot water on boost via the electric 2. So no gas, just electric. All right. So I hope that makes sense. I'll leave it on electric just for a minute. I can obviously also use the heating function as well if I wanted to. Put that at 20. So you see, heating's working, hot water's working on electric only. The last bit I want to show you is if you go all the way over to the fan, click on the fan. It's on eco at the moment, which is why it's got the one little bit of the fan illuminated, not the rest of it. Scroll through, high. And I thought you could go one more than that, but maybe not. So it's high or eco basically on the fan. So you see there now, it's on high. So if I let the screen go off again, I'll show you. You can see it yourself, but you've got on the left hand side there, you've got a gas symbol, which means your heating is working. Next to that, you've got the flashing boost symbol, which means your hot water is on. You've then got the 2 electric symbols, that means you're on electric only. And you've got the fan symbol there that says you're on high fan setting. So hopefully that makes sense. There's probably books in here showing you how it all works if you wanted to sort of flick through it and make sure that you're happy with it. But it is, once you've got the hang of it, it is quite simple. You basically just choose your temperature or turn it off. Choose boost, hot or eco for the hot water. And then choose your electric gas setting, whichever one you want to use. I'm going to leave it on gas only for a minute because that's where most people would have it. And I'll turn the hot water off. So once you've got nothing up here, it means that your boiler is completely off. The screen will just go off after a little while, or you can push and hold on this button here and it will turn itself off. Like that. All right, so that's the boiler. That's your sort of brand new, well, it's not brand new, but it's very, very new Truma iNet ready boiler system. So that's that. I thought I'd get that out of the way first and sort of give you a good sort of explanation on it as best I can. So that's that. I hope that makes sense. Your fridge, you've got a 3-way fridge, so it works 3 different ways. Your selector for the fridge is over here on the left hand side. You can see that. So you've got gas at the very bottom, 12 volt above that, and 240 volt at the top here. I'm going to turn the fridge off for a minute just so we can go through and I can properly show you how it works. So in the completely upright position there, the fridge is totally off. All right, absolutely nothing. You're up and it's going along to this little sign here, which means it's completely off. If you've got a hookup plugged into the van, which I do at the moment, you can go 1 to the right, and then that's aiming towards this one here, which says hookup cable. All right, so after a few hours or so, your fridge will be freezing cold inside via the electric hookup. If you've already got your fridge cold and everything inside it is already cold, and you want to use the electric whilst you're driving, Down one more, chooses the 12 volt function with a little battery symbol. And if you wanted to light the fridge up via the gas and cool it down like that, you go all the way to the bottom. Straight away, the ignition will start over there automatically. And then all you need to do is push in on this knob here, light straight up because the ignition stops. Hold on to it for a second, just like a hob, and then let go of it. As long as you've let go of that and the ignition has stopped, see it's failed just there because I just let it off too quickly. But basically that's all you need to do, just like any hob. Push it in and hold it whilst it lights up, and then let go of it, like that. All right, so that's completely off, and that means it's completely lit up and working. As long as your ignition switch there is off and not flashing at you when you're down to the bottom, it usually means your fridge is lit up. But you can double check that by doing what I showed you on the outside, putting your hand over that top right hand side of the top right of the top vent. So that's the fridge. I'll briefly show you inside of it. You've got this freezer box up the top, and shelves and bits and pieces in the door. It's all there, how it would have been from standard. And you have got this little travel catch here if you don't want it opening up whilst you drive. So I'll turn that off now, all the way back up to the top. Your oven / grill is down here, so basically just turn that round there and light it up. I do believe you need an ignition of some description to light these up, so like a lighter or something if you wanted to use those. But again, all there. I've got this open here just so I can show you a couple of bits. All of your sort of 12 volt fuses and things like that are down here in this unit. If you wanted to double check those at some point, if there was something wrong, obviously have a little look in there if you need to. Get in touch with us if you do get any problems, obviously, but it's all just there if you needed it. Bathroom is all nice and straightforward. So your toilet cassette, or your toilet, is this one just here. To flush it, you basically just press this button at the back. You can hear there water pumping around, and you got your flush in there. Emptying it into the cassette is open, so that drains it into the cassette, and then you need to close that back over. The reason it's important to close it back over is because, one, you'll get a bad smell coming back into the vehicle, but also if you don't close it back over, you will pretty much straight away realise that when you go to take the cassette out from outside, it'll be locked in place and you won't be able to move it at all. So you need to make sure that's closed back over when you're not using it. Otherwise, it's all pretty straightforward. I mean, I don't need to show you how these work because you know what they are. But it's all there, all as you need it. You know, the habitation check has been done, so it's all tickety-boo. You've got a light just under here. There you go. And an extractor fan as well. I believe that's going to be, so it's a continental power socket, but that is hookup power basically. Yeah, so just trying to work out if there's much else to show you. Back end of the vehicle. I mean, we haven't had to do a huge amount to the van. I mean, it's all been pretty good. It's just been the logbook side of things, which I know has been a bit of a pain. So I think that's about all I can show you. Well, the only thing I'll show you is that you've got the 3 hobs up here that you do need ignition, again the same as the oven and grill, to light these up, because they haven't got an igniter on them. They'd normally be here. So lighter to light any of those up. We've got them here if you need them on the day. Other than that, as long as you've got your Truma boiler off before you start driving, and all of your sort of windows and skylights and things like that are all closed down, you've turned all your power off, so you go through here, turn your light switches off, turn your pump off, and then you can turn your main switch off. Once you've done that, basically turn your gas off down in the locker, because you can't drive with gas in the vehicle switched on, and you're good to go really. As long as you've if you want to keep your fridge stuff cold, turn it over to the 12 volt, the battery symbol, and go from there really. I don't think there's much else to show you. So if there's any questions that you've got or anything you want going through again, just let us know, and otherwise I look forward to seeing you soon to collect your van. Thanks very much.